You
She
ready?
talks dirty and says recording in progress.
I wish everyone would hear it.
I know,
Very sensual voice.
but they can't.
Zoom
What
lady
they can hear is
welcome to Frolic Harder and welcome to Blood Eagle.
such a metal name. I just love the name. And I was gonna touch on what this was about, tying it into it to Blood Eagle and everything. And I don't know if everybody knows what a Blood Eagle is.
Oh, let's break it down.
You do, I'm sure, because you titled this episode.
I did.
So this episode is going to be focused on Bluetooth.
Yeah, no one saw that.
It's exactly what you think. It's exactly what you think. So it's Bluetooth. Everybody uses it every day. But we're not talking about the technology for the most part. We're going to be talking about Herald Bluetooth. The name, the Bluetooth phone, everything comes. Yeah, that's what it was named after. It was named after a Viking. And I was going to save Blood Eagle for later, but you already brought it up, so we're going to go into it.
Let's just put it out on Front Street.
Yeah, we're just going to put it out on Front Street. So it doesn't really tie into Herald, Mr. Bluetooth over here, as much as the overall arcing picture. A Blood Eagle is pretty metal. It's a Viking ritual of an execution. So you think about like the French had the guillotine. I mean, you got nooses, people getting hung, like witch trials back in Salem, all this stuff.
You remember I forget what it's called. It's a horse type contraption. The one where you straddle the. It's essentially
a mechanical
triangle shaped.
A what?
It's triangle shaped. There's a blade on top. You straddle the blade, and then your feet are essentially just pulled down, and it's just slices you straight up your butthole.
Oh no, dude! It like splits you right between the nuts and follows
the gooch,
right from gooch to eyebrow. Man, that is not the way you want to go. I mean, do you think like
the episode title from
gooch to eyebrow? Could you imagine, like, is Anthony Davis's unibrow so strong that it would just stop right at the brow?
It might.
It wouldn't go any further.
You remember the prank video he put out a few years ago of him shaving the brow?
I do, and then it was fake.
That was great.
Yeah, Michael Strahan did something like that where he did fake teeth to close in his gap. It was pretty funny. But anyway, I digress. Back to the Blood Eagle. So yeah, it's a ritualistic way of executing someone that the Vikings used. As known as it may be, I mean, the term Blood Eagle, I'm sure people have heard. There's only 2 documented cases ever of it being used.
Oh, wow.
Ever. Yeah, I thought it would be way more. So it only got used twice, but it was basically a way to execute someone. And according to the sagas, it's the only known reference to Blood Eagle. The victims were placed in a prone position. Their ribs were severed from up their spine with a sharp tool. Then they would pull their lungs out through the opening that they cut to create a pair of wings. It was pretty metal. It was pretty metal.
Metal.
There's only 2 cases of that ever happening. But
and you kind of feel like the sharp instrument isn't that sharp.
No, it's like some sharpened like obsidian stone that they're just like slicing you and filleting you open.
It's a butter knife, one of this plastic spork.
They got a spork over there just chewing through your spine, chiseling through it. But yeah, it was pretty metal. So we're gonna go back a little bit. We're gonna go back to 911 AD.
AD, you say?
The year 911. Herald Bluetooth was born. He was a pretty cool dude. The way that he ties into the Bluetooth that we all know and love today was, if you've ever seen like the Bluetooth symbol, it looks like a little B with maybe a blue background on it for the most part. It's a combination of 2 Nordic runes, one for H and one for B. Herald Bluetooth. So his runes live on our cell phones every day. They live on your laptops. You see that Bluetooth symbol comes from Vikings. It's like so random when you're talking about, like, you get the apple, the symbol of the apple with the bite taken out of it, all these iconic logos. Then you got Bluetooth.
It's up there.
It's up there.
No idea.
It's up there. Yeah, it's Nordic runes for H and B stood for Herald Bluetooth, and he was a king back in the day. He was very important. So the technology, the Bluetooth technology, was actually meant to unite devices like we have, like cell phones, laptops. You get your AirPods connected to your iPhones with Bluetooth, all this stuff.
Our headphones with cords that we're rocking right now.
Exactly. All definitely not Bluetooth. But my watch that I'm wearing, all Bluetooth connected. So this all started from a Viking back in the day. And the technology was meant to unite devices the same way that Herald Bluetooth united the tribes of Denmark into a single kingdom.
Oh,
so
Herald.
that's Herald. So basically the way they looked at history, they looked at all these things, and they said, you know what? He united a kingdom over there. Let's unite our electronic devices with our other electronic devices. Here's one thing that I didn't know. I'm going to let you guess, what year did Bluetooth technology first hit the scene?
Oh, let's
think about
go.
we
bet
were
it's earlier than I think.
I think it's earlier than you think, but
Yeah.
think about as far back as you can. When was the first time you used Bluetooth that you can remember?
I feel like it wasn't that long. It probably was at this point, but let's say 2001.
You're not going back far enough.
Wow, really?
It was pre-2001, so it was a good guess. It was 1998 that Bluetooth technology was introduced by IBM. So it was I had no idea. I was going to guess, mid-2000s or so. That's kind of when I remember personally seeing Bluetooth, made aware of Bluetooth. Obviously, the technology took off and we use it every day. But that is kind of where it started from. So this guy was born in 9/11 and lived to 985. So he lived to see 74 years of life, which is quite astonishing
for that time.
Because I mean,
9/11 AD, never forget
9/11 AD. I mean, this is a time where we've played video games. You've ever played the Oregon Trail? You get dysentery and die on the Oregon Trail, and you're like 16 years old. 9/11 AD, you stub your toe, you get it infected, you die. You get a scratch on your arm, it gets infected, you die. You get the flu, you die. It was like the whole world was Australia back then.
I just want to make sure built to kill you. Everyone knows first too. You are aware what dysentery does, right? Or how you die?
I mean, it can't be worse than shigellosis, but which we've touched on. That's an episode 1 throwback right there.
Fucking shigellosis.
Shigellosis. Yeah, you just shit yourself to death, right? It's not a good way to go. You dehydrate yourself straight into the grave.
Yeah.
So not fun. So this guy, Herald Bluetooth, his name actually has an Old English translation. So it translated back to Army Rule, which was it's a pretty sweet name to have. Wow. Didn't know that. This guy is like sweet name. His legacy has lived on to the year 2022 now. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
That is a sweet last name meaning. Do you know what your last name
what mine
stands for? Yeah.
Mine.
You don't have to give your last name, but
I mean, I know what it originated as. I know what the first iteration of my last name was.
So mine is nothing cool like Army. What was it?
It was Herald Bluetooth's name translated in Old English to Army Rule.
Army Rule. See, my last name is translated as a plowboy.
That's amazing. I don't know what mine does. I don't know what the translation is for mine. I'd have to do.
It's got to be better than plowboy, right?
I mean, it has to be. It could be weird though. No, you know my last name. It could get into some weird, who knows?
I hope so.
I mean, we'll cover that in another. That'll the people will
bonus episode.
Bonus episode. You'll find out our names. So this dude, Herald Bluetooth, one of his biggest accolades and things that he could put on his resume, so to say, is he oversaw the construction of the gelling Runic Stones. Now, gelling, it's not the type of stones, it's a location. So gelling was in Denmark. So these runic stones still exist to this day, which is what kind of blew my mind. So they're located in Denmark right now, and they're a lot of these were considered discovered, I guess you could say, only in 1994. They were excavated, all this stuff. So naturally, people started tagging them with graffiti and things like that, right? Yeah, it's great. So these things,
as soon as you find something precious, you're gonna
just
draw a
tag it
huge
up.
dick on it.
Yeah, you just got just a huge cock and balls on it.
Yeah.
So that's basically what happened. So they lived and survived thousands of years until some bunch of hooligans going over there defacing them, and now they're moved into a museum, which is pretty cool.
Good.
But they basically they didn't have paper back then, so they carved these runes into these stones as their kind of written word. It was their paper. So that's how we got a lot of this information, was from these runic stones in gelling. How we got to learn everything about Harold and all the kind of Bluetooth family lore, if you will. But he oversaw this big bridge in gelling, and it was the construction of the runes, and then he had this massive bridge that he built. There are actual remnants of the bridge still in gelling, Denmark, that you can view today, which is pretty cool. I found some pictures of it. It's kind of like wood stakes and stuff that are left over, and it's been there for a long time. So it's mostly gone, with a couple of remaining pieces. So that's something I'm like, if I'm ever in Denmark, I'm going to go see this guy's old bridge.
You have
just
to
say I did it now. So it was the oldest known bridge in southern Scandinavia, and it was for quite some time. It was also the largest bridge of its time. So in at least Scandinavia, in the known area that he was in these prehistoric times of people back then, it was a pretty impressive build. It was 16 feet wide and 2,490 feet long.
That is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, it was almost a half a mile long. So that's quite the feat back then.
Look at Harry out here.
That bridge was called the Ravning Bridge, and it's located in Ravning Meadows in Denmark. So if you ever go to Denmark, go to Jelling, go check out the Ravning Bridge. It's pretty sweet. Other than that, I mean, there really isn't a lot to go off of based on like what we know about Harold. There's some runes with some translations that show how he was converted to Christianity, which was a huge thing for Vikings back then. They were just raping and pillaging everything, and this guy's like, nah, I'm gonna go be religious and do all this stuff. So
he sold out to the Jesus.
He sold out to the Jesus. So there's some debate on whether his son removed him forcefully from the throne at that point or not. It's a little bit of a gray area. The runes don't really tell us everything we need. But that's basically a little bit of a backstory on where we get our Bluetooth technology today. Now, of course, this wouldn't be one of our episodes without testing your knowledge about some Viking trivia.
I'm so excited.
So you love to play these games with me.
Games are the best part of
this. Is what we spend most of the time prepping for, I think. So
the research is okay. The games are
where you actually learn a lot from these games too. So This game is called Jarls, Karls, or Thralls.
Fuck yeah, you named the game too.
I did. I had to step it up after you did it. I'm just like, hey, here's this game. You're just going to get some questions. But you started naming these things. So
you have to.
Jarls, Karls, or Thralls. So let me explain how I got that name. So I was looking up kind of like Viking nobility. Like what was the class like upper class, middle class, lower class. So that's how I kind of got this idea. Jarls were known as like nobility, royalty. They were the top of the food chain. They were the 1%ers. The Karls were your middle class folk, your average Joe. And the Thralls were the slaves or paupers. They were the bottom feeding group of the social hierarchy, if you will. So are you ready to begin this game?
Let's do this.
Okay, so Jarls, Karls, or Thralls is going to be a multiple choice game. Yes. I consider this to be pretty easy, because I didn't want to come up with some random like, hey, pronounce this word in Nordic. You would have never done it. You'd been like, Reykjavik, what's that? So we're going to go through. There's going to be 4 options. So it's a multiple choice of 4.
Seasoned beef.
Seasoned beef is not up there, as a matter of fact. This is a great guess, though. So there are going to be 3 incorrect answers, 1 correct answer.
Okay.
Sorry. It's 3 and 1. So my bad. It's ABC, not ABCD. Three answers. So the first question for you is, from which area in the world did Vikings come from? Is it A, North Africa, B, North Europe, or C, North America?
Let's go B, North Europe.
That is correct, sir. You are off to a great start. So I failed to let you know how this is scored and what your outcome is going to be. So we're only one question, so I can count this real quick. So if you get, these are really easy questions, I believe, for the most part. I think process of elimination, you should kill this one. If you get between 1 and 11 correct answers, you're a thrall. You're trash. You're at the bottom of the barrel. You are the pauper slave of this game. If you get between 12 and 22 correct, you're a caller. You're a Karl. It's just your middle class average Joe. You're doing okay. This is fine.
This is fine.
If you get 23 to 33 correct, you're a Jarl. You're royalty. You're of the nobility of this group here. So you're off to a good start. You have the first question correct.
And you know what? There's also no better time to do this. My name is Matt, and this is my co-host, Brennan.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? So we're only a few minutes into this. So, everybody knows us by this point. If you've listened to this many episodes, you should know.
I sound like this.
And I sound like this.
There you go.
We're the same every time. So let's get on to number 2 now that we've completely botched the intro to our podcast, but that's okay. It's our style.
It's happened more than not.
It'll happen again in the future. So the second question here is, which historical period is typically referred to as the Viking Age? Is it A, around 100 to 700 AD, B, around 800 to 1100 AD, or C, around 1200 to 1500 AD?
Let's go with B again.
B is correct, sir. You're off to a fantastic start. 2 for 2. I'm liking it. You're. I think you're going to be a Jarl by the end of this. I think
I'm ready to Blood Eagle someone.
You're ready to Blood Eagle someone. And if you become a Jarl, you can, because you're at the top of the food chain.
Good.
Number 3. The first known Viking raid took place in 793. When they attacked a monastery in which modern-day country? A, France, B, Spain, or C, England?
This is tricky.
Don't overthink it.
I want to eliminate Spain. The French are always getting attacked in history.
They really are, though.
They really are.
They kind of instigate a lot, too. So
I'm going to go with the English, because from Northern Europe. It's just on the way.
You're going with C, England?
I'm going with C, England.
You, sir, are correct.
God.
You are off to a great start here. I believe in you here. There are I made so many questions because I think you could get these, and I didn't want to make them too crazy. So there might be a couple sprinkled in there, a little tough. Number 4. The Vikings were the first Europeans to reach which continent around the year 1000? Is it A, North America, B, South America, or C, Australia?
A, North America.
You, sir, are killing this. That is correct.
Yeah.
Dude, you know a lot about Vikings.
I was a history major.
Yeah, you know what? That'll do it. I completely didn't take into the account when I put this together. I'm probably going to get wrecked here on a lot of the historical relevant questions. So see if there's a couple little trip you up. Number 5. So. Which of the following was used for money by the Vikings? Was it A, wool? Was it B, pieces of jewelry? Or was it C, shells?
I'm going to go with A.
Going with wool?
Wool.
You, sir.
It seems like a place where you'd want some wool.
It would. And it makes a lot of sense. But you, sir, are incorrect.
Damn, was B.
You have missed your first question. It is pieces of jewelry. You have to remember, these are Vikings. You think they're just going to take wool for payment? Come on, man.
That's true. I'd take some wool, make a nice fur coat.
They're pillaging for jewelry, not for wool. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you overthought that one. That's okay.
They need their pieces of flair.
Pieces of flair. Exactly. So it's your first miss. You're 4 out of 5. You're off to a really good start. I think you're still going to be a Jarl here. A lot of room.
Let's do this.
Number 6. Which of the following surnames would have been a Viking one?
Ooh.
A. Becker. C. Windsor. Or did I say B or C? A. Becker. B. Windsor. C. Ericsson.
Let's go with C. Ericsson.
That is correct. That was an easy one. I knew you had that.
That was.
I believed in you the whole way there.
Thank you.
Ericsson, you think about like there's hockey players out there with Ericsson. They look
They
look like Vikings. They got the long blonde hair and beards for the most part. So yeah, that is definitely the Viking surname of the 3. Number 7. Viking warriors are often depicted in the media with which type of helmet? A. Horned helmets. B. Archetypal helmets. Or C. Crested helmets.
A. Horned helmets.
Of course they do. Of course they have horned helmets. Have you ever seen a Minnesota Vikings helmet? They got the horns going. That was the easy one.
So was.
Number 8. What is special about runes? Which letters that made up? Which were the letters that made up the Viking alphabet? A. They consisted of straight lines. B. Only elite Viking warriors were allowed to use them. Or C. There were up to 30 runes.
I'm gonna go C.
C. There were up to 30 runes.
There were up to 30 runes.
That, sir, is incorrect.
Ah.
The special thing about the Viking alphabet was that they only consisted of straight lines. There's no curved lines in the Viking alphabet.
I appreciate that from them.
I like that. Number 9. Which of the following European cities was founded by the Vikings? Was it A. Southampton, England, B. Belfast, Northern Ireland, or C. Dublin, Ireland?
Ooh. What was A again?
A was Southampton, England. B was Belfast. C was Dublin.
Let's go B, Belfast.
Belfast is a great guess, but it's incorrect.
Damn.
The Vikings founded Dublin, Ireland, as a matter of fact. Those Vikings over there with their Ireland and everything. What's happening here, Matt? You need to take a breather?
I just need to regroup.
You need to
regroup. We're gonna be
fine. Stretch those arms out.
As long as this is fine. As long as I hit that this is fine level.
Massage that brain. You got this. Okay. We're only on number 10. We're about a third of the way, or almost a third of the way done.
Let's do this.
Mead is the most well-known Viking beverage. This alcoholic, beer-like drink is made by fermenting which ingredient with water?
Honey. Whatever letter is honey.
B is correct, Matt. You got it. It was barley, honey, or corn. You nailed it. So that's another correct answer. You're up to 7 correct.
Yeah, I was looking into a meadery in Nashville when we were out there.
We have one down here too. There's a meadery and a meatery down here.
Oh, combined?
No, 2 different places.
They
should have the meat meatery.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on to something.
Don't steal that. No one steal that.
Yeah. No, yeah. You guys stop it. Stop listening to us right now. I'm giving you ideas. Number 11. We're moving on. How many rooms were there in a typical Viking household? Is it A, 1? Is it B, 3? Or is it C, 10?
This is a tricky one.
I told you there's some in here that I'm trying to trip you up with.
I want to go C, 10.
You think those Vikings just got the mansions?
I feel like they got their clans.
They've pillaged and they've built onto their house.
Yeah.
That's a great way to use logic if you're not Viking, though. They had one big open room. So they really love those open concepts. So you, sir, are incorrect there.
All right.
It's okay. You're still doing good.
I'm not going to do that in my home, but
just one big square. It's like just one big loft. Square, yeah. It's a weird concept. I mean, there's like no privacy there.
I want privacy.
I do too. What if you got to poop? Go out to the Thunderbox, I guess.
The hashtag Thunderbox.
The hashtag Thunderbox. Number 12. Who is the supreme god worshipped by the Vikings? Is it A, Thor, Is it B, Odin, or is it C, Loki?
B, Odin.
Of course it's B, Odin.
Good old
That's a good
Odin.
job. See, I sprinkled some easy ones in here for you.
Just some Marvel trivia.
There's some Marvel trivia, man. Had to throw it in there. Number 13. Thor was the god of war and fertility worshipped by most Vikings. Which weapon did he use to create lightning and thunder? Is it A, a trident, B, an axe, or C, a hammer?
It was C, a hammer. Meow meow.
Yeah, it was meow meow.
Meow meow.
Yeah, I got that reference. Meow meow. It was Kat Denning's character. Couldn't pronounce it, so she called Mjolnir meow meow.
Meow meow.
You're good. You're doing good, man. You got 9 right. We're on number 14.
Oh, I'm feeling
we're moving along.
Good.
We're almost halfway done. When did most of the Viking lands convert to Christianity? Was it A, around the 11th century, B, around the 13th century, or C, around the 15th century? Mr. English or history major. Let's see what you got here.
I'm gonna guess B, since my specialty was Roman history and pre-Civil War.
Not Viking history. Okay. So you got all confident before going, I'm a history major. Here you are missing number 14.
God
it is not the 13th century. It is around the 11th century. So the answer was A.
Some bitch.
That's right. Putting that UCLA education to shame over here, sir.
I know.
Over here, looking all educated with your hat and your glasses. It's okay. You look studious.
My eyesight's bad. It's so
number 15.
I had to dress up from the waist up.
You did? Just
today, you know.
Okay. You literally raw dog it. You got no pants on.
Of course.
Shirt.
Yeah. Donald ducking it.
So yeah, everybody, just Donald ducking it over here is just doing the old Pooh Bear over there.
You got to do something to fight the heat out here.
Yeah, just Pooh Bearing it up.
Yeah.
with your next time, you just got to Pooh Bear it with some mead, so you got your honey.
Oh, perfect.
Number 15. The richest nobles in the Viking Age were buried in what? Was it A, gold armor? Was it B, long ships? Or was it C, marble coffins?
We'll go B, long ships.
That, sir, is correct.
Yeah.
You're back on your winning ways.
Back on track. Here we go.
Back on track. It's looking good, man. We're on 16 now. You got 10 right. You've only missed 5 questions. It's impressive.
We're learning some things.
That's right, man. That's right. Number 16 is, according to let's try that again. According to...
Come on, Miss. You like Miss Frizzle out here.
Norse mythology.
There we go.
What is Valhalla? Is it A, the Viking home, B, the Viking tribe, or is it C, the Viking heaven?
The Viking heaven. C.
It is C. You are correct. That is do you believe in Valhalla? You think it exists?
Where'd you go? You're glitching out on me.
Here. I'm not glitching out. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Still there? Is this a one-man podcast now?
Can
you hear me?
I can hear you.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. I can hear you the whole time. I'm like, I didn't go anywhere. Yeah. Valhalla is correct. What I was saying.
Now comes the tricky question: if I want to edit that out or not.
Nah, leave that in. We're doing this live. We're doing it. What I was saying is, do you believe Valhalla? Do you think that exists? Do you think Vikings go to Valhalla?
I hope so.
What's the opposite of Valhalla? What's like the Viking hell? Like,
ooh,
that's got to be like Jacksonville, Florida, right?
Oh, probably.
It's probably like there's Valhalla and then Jacksonville. I think would be the two. Because nobody,
a Viking might like Jacksonville.
It's all hot and sticky, and there's jaguars. So I don't know how they do with that.
Oh, they'd probably enjoy hunting some jaguars.
Maybe think they catch a wild Trevor Lawrence.
Catch a wild Florida man.
Wild Florida man over there. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Trevor Lawrence is going to become Florida man if he has
blood eagles all over the place.
Blood eagle that whole team over there. Number 17. We're moving along. The Vikings came from the following modern day countries, except A, Norway, B, Finland, or C, Sweden. Which country did they not come from?
That was Norway.
Norway, Finland. Sweden.
I'm gonna go Norway.
You, sir,
No.
are
Yeah.
incorrect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't feel strong
It's
about
Sweden,
that one.
isn't it?
It is Finland.
I didn't feel strong about that one.
Yep, that was
Finland.
Yeah, that was a tricky one. Yeah, they
Look,
did not.
it's doing the breakup thing again.
I don't know what's happening.
Someone's got bad. Your mouth is agape. Oh, there we go, and you're back.
My mouth is agape. Yeah, I have no explanation for that. I don't know what's happening. We're just gonna fight through it because that's what we do.
I wonder if this is Bluetooth related and we're being cursed right now.
Maybe we are. Maybe
we've
that's
upset Odin.
You know, that's okay. I know how to deal with Odin. We've seen now.
We've angered him with our blaspheme.
Or blaspheme. We're moving along. Which of the following objects was the Viking symbol of responsibility? Was it A, a key?
No, it's doing it.
No.
What was the question?
Can you hear me? Check, check, check. You got me?
I was doing it again. Oh, okay, now I can hear you.
Okay.
What's going on here?
I don't know. Which
curse?
It is.
The goddamn curse is what it is. I wonder if it's recording you the way it's recording me right now.
Maybe.
Oh, your mouth's agape again.
So is yours. It keeps happening to you too.
Ah.
Can you hear me? You got me. We live.
I got you. I got you.
Which of the following objects was the Viking symbol of responsibility? Was it A, a key, B, a sword, or C, a ship?
See a ship. Be a dick.
Dang, I can't believe you got that wrong. It was a key. Come on, man. It was a key. That's their symbol of responsibility. You're hanging in there. There's a chance. You got to really kill it in the home stretch here to become
the latter half here. Yeah.
Number 19. What was the main advantage when the Vikings used their narrow long ships? Was it A, they could sail in deep water areas, or B, they were light and shallow to carry, C, they were sturdy and huge?
I'm going to go with A.
A, they could sail in deep water areas is incorrect.
Damn.
The correct answer was they were light and shallow to carry. Really easy. Just pick them up and move them.
That's pretty. I mean you got to pick it up.
See them Vikings rowing those huge boats, and they got like the huge thing on the front, like the hood ornaments. They got their BMW hood ornaments.
They got their hood ornaments.
They do.
They got their Jaguar.
They got their Jaguar up there. Their blood eagles are up in front. There's a person with their lungs filleted out in front, like a freak.
I like that.
Yeah, there was nothing like. Could you imagine a Viking longship coming at you and there's a human corpse that's filleted open with their lungs hanging out their back like wings? Dude, I'd just get out of the way. I just, you know what? You guys can take whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with that. That's
I'm running to the nearest Thunderbox and hiding.
I'm going to Jacksonville. I know they're not going there.
That's true.
Yeah, they're staying away from that like most people should. Number 20. Which species of bird? You got
a big hatred for Jacksonville.
I hate Jacksonville so much, man. It sucks. There's like no worse place that I could think of. The only worst place I could think of is the entire state of Mississippi, but that's neither here nor there.
I just drove.
You could probably confirm that there's no worse place on earth than Mississippi.
Yeah, so let me tell you how proud of Mississippi is. At least what Starbucks thinks of them. So when I used to travel for work, I started collecting Starbucks mugs.
Okay.
Because they make them for every state, or
so you got the location on the mug. Or
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So on our trip out, we collected a whole bunch of them. On the way back, we had to go through Mississippi, and we're like, "Ah, fuck it! Like, we're here.
Right.
We'll stop at the Starbucks.
We don't like it any more than anybody else.
Add it to our collection.
Go to the Starbucks.
So we were coming from Georgia. So you go Georgia. We go through Alabama. We got our Alabama mug.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you go straight from Alabama into Mississippi. No crossing any other states.
Right.
So we get into Mississippi. We're miles in. And we stop at a Starbucks.
We're deep in Mississippi at this point.
We go in to get our mug. Do you want to know what they had there?
What did they have?
They had mugs for the state of Florida.
In Mississippi?
In Mississippi.
Not even Mississippi wants to be
Not even Mississippi.
Ah, that just really...
At no part did we even drive through Florida. And Alabama was closer than Florida.
And Mississippi's like, you know what?
No one wants
Don't
this.
look here. Just pay attention to the state. It's 2 states.
Look away. Look away.
Don't look here. Yeah, I think Mississippi is the only place worse than Jacksonville. Maybe I'm doing Jacksonville a disservice, but
You're gonna go after Mississippi the rest of the
I'm gonna start attacking Mississippi now. Because that's what I do. So we're on number 20. Which species of bird was depicted on the flags of the Vikings? Was it A, a seagull? Was it B, an eagle? Or was it C, a raven?
I wish it was a seagull.
So do I.
I'm going to say B, eagle.
You, sir, are incorrect.
Damn it.
It is a raven.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, man. Ravens
I got
are
hung
still
up
a
on
little more
this whole blood eagle thing.
Yeah, see? You got hung up on the blood eagle. That eagle was in your head. But ravens are a little bit more sinister looking. So
Edgar Allan Poe should have let me know.
Yeah, he should have. He should have given us a warning.
Yeah.
That's Evermore. Okay. He should have taught us about the Vikings.
Yes.
But he didn't. Just about ravens. Which are what the Baltimore Ravens are named after, by the way. The football team. They were named specifically after Edgar Allan Poe's Ravens. Because Edgar Allan Poe was from Baltimore. There you go. The more you know. Number 21. I did, for those of you that can't see me, I did the whole reading rainbow thing, like the more you know with my hands. It was
You're an educator.
I am.
Is what you are.
That's what I do, man. Just got to teach somebody their history over here. UCLA is not doing it.
Nope.
That's okay. That was a long time.
They didn't offer it while I was there, but it's in the syllabus. They offer the history of prostitution.
Oh, yeah?
I wish I could have taken that class. You actually went to a lot of my classes.
I did. I remember going to one with you that was the history of Beatles. The band, the Beatles. Yeah,
class I did the worst in.
How did you butcher that one?
Well, I skipped most of the labs.
Okay. What? Wait. What do you mean labs? There's no lab. Like, when you learn how to play,
on top of the going to class,
you guys like singing "Let It Be"
3 hours twice a week. We had to go to a lab twice a week as well, like way early in the morning, where you meet with the TA and you get in a bunch of little groups, which I hate doing because I don't like talking to other people.
Nah, people suck.
Yeah. And then you talk about your paper you wrote and other stuff. I don't know because I didn't go to them.
That's so unnecessary for a class that's the history of a rock and roll band.
Yeah. So I did not do well in that class.
Yeah, that's okay. I absolve you of that.
I know John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
That's all you need to.
And I'm fans of them. And I did not do well in their class.
That's okay. You passed the class. That's all that matters.
I didn't pass. But I also didn't fail.
Hey.
So it is.
Did you get credit? Did you get credit for the class?
No, it's as though I never took the class.
Oh, okay. Even worse.
But I didn't fail it. So I didn't have to retake it.
That's what we call a withdrawal.
Yes.
That's okay though. You learned a little bit, I'm sure.
I did.
We're back on track here with number 21. Why did the Vikings have ravens on their flags? Was it A, because ravens were a typical bird of Northern Europe? Or was it B, because ravens would find new lands? Or was it C, because their enemies were scared of ravens?
I want to guess B.
You think it's because ravens would find new lands?
That sounds cool.
You, sir, are back on track. That is correct.
Good old ravens.
Just excellent job there. That's a great job on that question. That was a tough one, I think.
Good job by you, Ravens.
Good job by you two. Not Bono or The Edge, but you.
Oh, do you remember when they put that free album on everyone's iPod?
You remember when they forced themselves upon us? Yeah, that they gave us an album that nobody wanted.
That was one of the worst days of my life.
That was pretty bad, man. I did have an iPod.
It's only a finite amount of memory on those things.
Yeah, and I didn't want it taken up by Bono at all. So, you know what, you two, screw you. Number 22. Why did people in England call the Vikings by the word barbarians? Was it B, because they just weren't Christian? A, because they wore horn helmets? Or C, because they attacked religious monasteries?
I'm going to go C, because I haven't made a C guess in a long time.
The one time you guess C, it's correct.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Boy.
It's because they attacked religious monasteries, and people didn't like that too much. They didn't take kindly to those Vikings, so they called them barbarians because of that. Because don't attack our religion, you barbarian. All right, number 23.
My the Jesus.
the Jesus. That's a Big Lebowski reference right there. It's a good one. Number 23. Led by Ingolfor Arneson.
Ingolfor?
Ingolfor.
My boy Ingolfor?
Arneson. The Vikings settled on which island in the year 874? Was it A, Ireland, B, Iceland, or C, Greenland?
Greenland is full of ice. Iceland is very green. We're going to go Iceland.
The Mighty Ducks do you correct here again, sir. It is B, Iceland. Everybody,
shout out Gordon Bombay.
Shout out to Gordon. It was the Icelandic coach, the chick that told him about that. I remember that.
It was. She was trying to get in Emilio's pants.
He was trying to hit that. And then his players didn't take too kindly to that because he took her for a nice ice cream date. Two of the players saw him and they're like, "You're having ice cream with the enemies." And he's like, "I'm just trying to get laid, kids. Sometimes you'll understand."
They just don't.
They just the kids didn't understand what was the whole situation there. Like, you've got this like two grown-ups clearly just going on a date,
and they're just enjoying some ice cream.
They're just enjoying some ice cream, and maybe he'll get some cake later. But who knows?
I hope so.
I hope he got cake, but
cake or pie.
Maybe he got cake and pie. Maybe he got to take a bite out of a peach. Who knows?
Or as The Rock would say, poontang pie.
Does he say that? That would be something that The Rock would say. Is poontang, right? That's such a Dwayne Johnson 2003 thing to say.
So good.
I like that. It's okay. Now he's bigger than everybody, and he's Black Adam now. It's okay. I don't know how he's still doing it. Number 24. It's that tequila. It's the tequila that he has. It's tequila brand. That's what's keeping him alive.
Terramana?
Yeah, that's what's keeping him alive.
Terramana. Send us the bottles. I don't know that.
Come on, Dwayne, send us a
bottle. I have had it. It was pretty good.
Yeah?
I did have some. Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I recommend.
Okay, I'll try it. Number 24. What was the only kingdom of Anglo-Saxon in England that remained independent of Viking occupation? Was it A, Wessex, B, East Anglia, or C, Northumbria?
A, Wessex?
You, sir, swung for the fences and
sure did.
You hit the meat of the bat on that one and cracked it out of the park. That is correct. It is Wessex. That is a great guess. And I know that's a guess. Don't tell me you knew that. That'd be a lie.
I did not know that. I figured Wessex, I'm hoping, is on the west side of the United Kingdom.
That's it.
And maybe, it takes
has the word sex in it, so who knows? Yeah, yep. You were correct.
I don't know.
It's good job. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Number 25.
You're a very supportive co-host. It's your best trait.
It's what I do, man. Number 25 is, which of the following attributes was the most important one for Viking warriors?
Dick size.
Was it? It was the size of their Johnson, of their Dwayne Johnson over here. It was the size of their rock. No, was it A, to stay humble, B, to be loyal, or C, to be remembered for great deeds?
Let's go B, loyalty.
You would think that would be correct, and you would be wrong. It is C. The greatest attribute for a Viking to have was to be remembered for great deeds. They want to have a legacy.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. 26. In the early ages, the Viking society was divided into how many classes? Was it A, 3, B, 4, or C, 5?
3.
I gave you the answer earlier. That's a great job.
I wasn't sure if you were trying to trick me or not.
Nope. I was just making sure you're reminded of the Jarls, Karls, and Thralls. So.
I even wrote it down.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I got to title the episode later.
Sure. It's a good job. We're coming up towards the end here.
Let's do
number
this.
27. Number 27 is, what was the name of the language spoken by the Vikings? Was it Old English? Was it Old Norse? Or was it Old Swedish?
Let's go Old Norse.
It is Old Norse.
I like
Could you imagine somebody just like speaking Old Swedish?
I don't like
That's where the IKEA language comes from. It's just old Swedish. Number 28 is, what was the main precious metal used by the Vikings? Was it A, bronze, B, silver, or C, gold?
Let's go with bronze.
Thinking about building their shields and stuff, and just it's a hardy metal, but it's not good enough to be a precious metal that was the main use of the Vikings.
Damn.
That
What are
would
they
be
doing?
silver.
Oh, they're silvering out.
They are silver. So yeah, everything's silver, everything chrome, everything shiny,
I like that.
like Mad Max and those crazy assholes.
They
Number
live on-
29. The Viking households, in Viking households, people often used soapstone for cooking and what? Is it A, lamps, B, doorstops, or C, scraping laundry?
Let's go see scraping laundry. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it would be if you were using something other than a soapstone.
Damn.
They used those as lamps. Believe it or
Interesting.
not. Yeah, I guess they had a glow to them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Yeah, I do too. Guess we got to be Vikings for that though.
Nah.
Number 30. Which Nordic country still has patronymics practices in which children are named after their father, plus the suffix dotir or son?
Oh, that's cool.
Is it A, Iceland? Is it B, Norway? Or is it C, Denmark? It's all three of the countries we've been mostly talking about here.
I'm going to guess Iceland.
Iceland is a fantastic guess because you're correct.
Yeah.
If you think of like dotir and all that stuff, yeah, it sounds like Icelandic. Which I'm not going to try and pronounce most of their language because it's all kinds of fucked up and we don't need that.
Yeah, no.
It's real hard to talk that, speak Icelandic. Last three questions. You're on the home stretch here.
Here we go.
You, sir, are up to 18 correct.
Where's that put me?
Right now, that puts you right at the meat of Karls. So
Ooh,
you're not
okay.
getting less than that.
That's good.
If you get the next three correct, you would be at the very, very end of Karls. That was if you got 11 to 22 correct.
Uh-huh.
So you can max out at 22.
All right.
So if you get all three correct, I'm going to give you a bonus.
If I bowl a turkey,
I'm going to give you a bonus point if you get all three of the next ones correct.
let's do this.
So you're noble.
Let's do this.
Number 31. According to the ancient religion, the Vikings had to pay special homage to gods every X amount of years. Is it every 2 years? A. Is it every 5 years? That would be B. Or is it every 9 years? For answer C.
I'm going to guess 5. I like 5.
5 is a great number, but it's one of those weird answers where it's 9. The answer is C. No bonus point for you. Bum, 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 bum. That was a tough one, though.
Karls is where we're at.
You're just going to be a Karl.
Just like in the taco challenge.
Just like in the taco challenge. It's
this
the same
fine?
thing. This is fine. But
We're just two mediocre hosts.
That's all.
We're just right down the middle, right in the middle.
We're just good enough. Number 32. We're still going to close this out here.
Let's do this.
Which modern day region in North America was named Vinland by the Vikings? Was it A, Newfoundland? Was it B, the Bahamas? Or was it C, Panama?
Newfoundland?
It's Newfoundland. You are correct. It is A.
Newfoundland.
And I did pronounce that correct, I believe. Newfoundland.
I believe you did.
Anybody that says Newfoundland is not Canadian enough. And I'm not Canadian at all. But
I love Canada.
In spirit. I think you and I are part Canadian in spirit, at least.
Very.
Definitely there's a pinch of spice in there.
There is.
To bring this home, the last question. This should be a very easy one for you. Which hair color was thought to be fashionable by the Vikings? Was it A, red? Was it B, blonde? Or was it C, dark?
I'm going to go blonde.
Blonde
like
is
Thor.
Correct. That is it. If you think of Scandinavian people, they're tall, blonde, blue-eyed folks. You started pretty good. Out of
Remember Thor's blonde eyebrows?
I don't.
In the first Thor movie?
Wait. Is that a thing?
Oh, you got to look that up.
I've got a Thor poster back here, but it's really dark. Yeah, that sounds weird. I don't want to.
It was super weird.
Dude, it's like albino almost. But out of a possible 33 correct answers, you got 20. That's pretty good.
Yay!
Proud of you, man. You did good. So you are a Karl. Congratulations, sir.
Hell
you
yeah!
Get the trophy of mediocrity. Here you go.
Yes. Thank you.
So with that,
on behalf of us,
it should be
this podcast.
This was a team effort here. We're my answers are your answers, vice versa. We're a team here. So you did good. You brought us home. We're Karls. Did you have any other things, any other snippet that you wanted to talk about regarding Vikings today?
I don't think so. Do we have more?
We do not. That's all I had for today's episode. I think we touched on everything. I think everybody got a little education on their cell phones and everything and connectivity.
And our love of Mississippi.
Yeah, clearly we love Mississippi and Jacksonville. You guys keep it real. Keep it there. Don't come here. Keep
to
that
you
shit
or to me?
To either of us. I don't want Mississippi infecting you either, man. We don't need that.
Thank you.
And if you're listening from Mississippi, we love you, but leave Mississippi.
You want them to leave Mississippi?
I do. If you're in Mississippi right now and you're listening to our podcast, you deserve better. Go to Alabama. Go somewhere better. Go to Arkansas.
Birmingham actually looked pretty cool when I drove through.
Birmingham?
I didn't stop, but I drove through, and they have a Buc-ee's.
Oh, and they have a Buc-ee's. I was getting some picture updates along the way from you. I saw your trip. I was with you in spirit.
Yeah,
I was living.
Pictures of Buc-ee's, and
it was mostly food that you would send me.
It was food and porta potties and thunderboxes.
And stadiums.
A lot of stadiums.
I did see a stadium.
A lot of stadiums.
Yeah.
A lot of
cool
stadiums.
Thing to see.
But
yeah.
You got to get home eventually on a road trip like that.
Through the South, you can't get home fast
enough.
Through the
South.
You just got to get in and turn around and come right back home.
You just got to run faster, jump higher, and frolic harder.
That's right. Okay, bye.